Maloni, kia ora, talofa lava. Welcome back to Blood, Sweat and Talanoa. We are your hosts today. Te ho and tiare, hey tiare.
Yeah, kia ora, kia ora.
Kia ora, bro. We are joined with us a very talented guest, our brother, TJ. Taotua is an Auckland-based singer-songwriter and guitarist. His music is classified as R&B, soul, jazz, fusion, and gospel music. TJ's been singing for probably over 20 plus years, covering genres and styles such as blues, jazz, funk, Motown, disco, reggae, and old school. Award-winning brother, soul artist. TJ is the best Pacific male. His award was the best Pacific male artist, best Pacific gospel artist, 2 years in a row, 2015 and 2016. At the prestigious Pacific Music Awards. So, bro, man. And behind that too, his rugby and league career that, that he's so talented with this brother. TJ, malo, bro. Welcome, bro.
Maloni so. Kia ora, brothers.
Kia ora.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's awesome to be here on your platform. Right.
Me, bro. Brother, as you know, if you could probably take us through your background, your origins, where did it all start for you? Where were you born? And hey, that's all right, bro. TJ?
I'm from Porirua. That full stop. Porirua full stop. I am Samoan, born in Samoa, blessed to come from the big island of Savaii. That's where my parents are from. So my dad is from the city of Sarelonga, and my mum is from the village of Satupaitea, and she also has a Paloli side as well. And so born in Samoa, but came to New Zealand when I was 2, settled in Porirua, in Gear Terrace in Mount Gavin, and pretty much my upbringing was in Porirua, but now living here in Auckland with my beautiful wife and our 3 girls. So God has been good, and it's a pleasure to be on your podcast, gentlemen.
Oh, wow. You're good, Terry. Wow, bro. I know with your education, bro. You went to Onslow. Hey, bro. For a few years back in the day. I sort of remember. I don't know if I was driving past, but I remember you, church and stuff, and then I recognized you at Onslow College. I was like, wow, you going to Onslow College, are you? I got waved out to you. From there, brother. You went into education, the university in town. I don't know which one you done at uni, but you can you tell us a bit about that? I guess with your education wise, with
100%. Thank you for the question. Also, maybe to backtrack a little bit. When we came, parents settled in Porirua and Mount Gavin. Attended the Ranui kindergarten, then on to Porirua East School. And then a little sort of family change happened there where my parents had split up when we were young. And that's how I ended up in Kendala, because my parents had split. My sister and my brother stayed with my mum in Porirua. And because my sister and my brother were with my mum, I just felt a little bit sorry for my old man. So I just went and stayed with my dad. So we stayed in Island Bay with my dad's sister. And then his first housing house that he got was in Kendala in Naio. Yeah, Naio. And that's how I ended up going to Onslow. So, but Porirua East School did a sort of bit of a stint at Kura Street in Titai Bay School, onto Titai Bay Intermediate. And then, when you come from a single parent home, sometimes it's hard for mum to hold down, the living situation. So we were shifting quite a bit, you know. So we went from TJ Bay Intermediate across to Waitangiroa Intermediate,
Oh,
and then did a little stint at South Wellington Intermediate in town, and then ended up at Onslow College. So quite a bit of sort of moving around, as you do, you know, when you're kind of you know, in that situation with your parents not together anymore. But I mean, it just taught us resilience, and you know, taught us you know, a lot of you know, values of you know, just making the most of what you have. So yeah, so on to Onslow, made some age grade rugby, and then got an opportunity to go to St Patrick's College for my last 2 years of school before going to Victoria University. So bit of a long-winded sort of journey of schooling, but yeah, I can pretty much tell you we've been to you know, probably most of the schools out in Porirua, and but awesome journey.
Oof. I just wanted to sort of backtrack back to because there was one of our sisters and one of the other brothers that shared that he actually went to Waitangiroa. And they talked about Mr. Robati. Was Mr. Robati there? Twine Robati, was he there when you were there?
Yeah. Mr. Rabadi was I think he was there. Yeah, maybe it was last year, or but Miss Mariko was my teacher there in 91. So I know that you interviewed Miss Mariko.
Oh yeah.
Mariko.
Wow.
So she kept us on the straight and narrow, man.
Yeah,
She was
of course.
awesome.
Of course. Wow, she was awesome. Awesome. I think my sister was saying, yeah, she's taught at Waitangiroa those days when she was there. But I only said that because they were really encouraged with the music there, the Polynesian, was it the Poly Club? Mr. Rabadi and the other Māori. Was it when we went to school? They had that. They had all the Cook Island, the Samoan, the Māori. It was pretty big when I was going, you know, and they sort of shared their stories of that. Was it pretty big, like you as well? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have a band there? Did you?
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Before any assembly, would play the Cook Island drums, you know,
Yeah.
get everyone to come through. And funny story, they were auditioning for some new drummers for the Cook Island, you know. So
For that band.
I didn't make the cut.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, better just stick to rugby than to worry about the Cook Island drums, eh?
Oh, yeah, where?
Did they put you up on the front of the stage to dance instead?
I was always at the back, brother.
Oh,
Yeah, cool. Hey, just a question too, TJ. With your education, obviously, the transient through the different schools and the stability. How did you find that back then at a young age, and then also, you know, you mentioned with how you've had to separate from your siblings, you know, because you would have found a bit of stress and you know, at that young age.
Yeah, I think, you know, at the time, because my parents were they were amazing, and that at the time we probably didn't think that there was anything sort of wrong, you know, like they would still try to provide as much as they could for us. But I think years later, as you know, when you start to think about you know, some of the things that you deal with at a later stage, you know, there probably was you know, a little bit of trauma, you know, there in terms of
Yes.
you know, just being split from your parents and trying to figure out, oh, do you stay with your mom or your dad? And then you've got your siblings as well, where you're trying to sort of look after them, and not trauma as in, like, you know, but it's just like going from school to school, you have to kind of sort of build up this thing of like trying to impress, to make friends.
Yes.
You know, and if it's not rugby, it's
no.
music.
Also, I thought you probably would have went to Bishop there at one stage. I wasn't sure. I thought you went to Bishop too, but obviously with the St. Pat's.
No, well, we had a lot of friends that you know, that went to Beard. We played a lot of rugby together, you know, 8th grade and that. But went to Onslow and then on to St. Pat's. So just it's always teaches you the, you know, those life skills of you know, just trying to make the most of what you do have, and to not let your circumstances dictate your, you know,
Awesome.
your future.
Yeah, no, you've done well, man. To where you're at right now too.
Sorry, I just wanted to sort of, because you were from St. Pat's. What made you, or who encouraged you to go study it, for the university? What made you want to go that path? Because I know you had a lot going on with your
Yeah,
rugby.
yeah, good question. One of the driving factors, I think, for me when I went to St. Patrick's was the careers advisor at the time. Um, Basically said in a roundabout way that I wouldn't be able to sort of handle the university sort of way of learning, and then I'd probably be better off maybe just doing a trade or just going straight into work, so there was some kind of a context around that. I mean, I was pretty much there to play rugby. And then try and get through, just try and get the minimum sort of passes that need to actually go into university. But I wasn't even able to get that. So I went through to university on what they called provisional entrance. So basically you had to do one semester. And if you passed that, then you'd go on to the next and so forth. Yeah. But I always knew that I had the ability to, to do well at university and to learn and to kind of, I just needed to apply myself. But I think that career advisor did me a favor by actually sort of, thinking that I couldn't do it, and that kind of pushed me over to kind of prove a point, but also to kind of like not be again dictated by someone else's opinion of.
No, that's right. So obviously there was an incentive for you to go towards that pathway, eh? To say, hey, I can do this.
Yeah. There's a couple of things. I mean, that was one part, but the other part of it was like any other kid coming from Porirua, like all you want to be is you just want to be an All Black, and that's your trajectory. You just want to play rugby. And so when we were coming through the grades with with my peers, I mean, I use this also the king of Pete Town and rest in peace Jerry Collins, and we all came through, and he just went through the system, and a lot of our guys were going through and playing and then getting into NPC and into the super rugby, and I wasn't kind of for many reasons sort of wasn't able to kind of press on. So I just sort of thought at the time, and also with discussions with my parents as well, particularly my dad, is that if the rugby wasn't going to work, then at least fall back on some sort of education.
Correct. Yeah.
And so I just thought, well, while I'm young and living with my parents, just at least try and get a little bit of education behind you, so that if you're sort of still trying to push the rugby and it doesn't work out, then you've got a little something to fall back on. So that was another reason as well.
Yeah. No.
I was going to ask you that one too, bro, because I know you had that. Your rugby and rugby league, because I know you did play for Harbour City, growing up. Harbour City at some stage, and then I don't know if you did play for Vikings as well. But you also, bro, you repped, you made the secondary New Zealand squad, TJ. I think I heard. I'm sure I've seen it. Seen it maybe at your mum's, maybe. But I seen a photo of your schoolboy. So you had that path too, bro. Were you?
Yeah.
How old were you there when you made that team on?
So was fortunate enough to make the New Zealand 16s from Onslow College, and so we toured Australia and had some gun players in that team that went on to do some some big things in the rugby space, and then from that experience of the Wellington 16s, the coach of the time that was at St. Pat's just offered some incentives to go across to St. Pat's to study there, and so also he was coaching the first 15 at the time. So so I was blessed enough to also go there at the same time with some of our other Porirua usos like Jerry and Peter Crichton and Jared Fatsavalu. So there's the four of us that came from Porirua. But you started to kind of see a trend from a lot of our Porirua talent going into Wellington schools and playing for Wellington, schools. I mean, there was a little bit of that happening, before, even we were coming through, but now it's just a normal thing. Those trains are filled with Porirua people going into Wellington schools,
That far out with that. Gee, and then it also, you go into uni and studying. What actually did you at uni? What did you start like? What were the subjects that you were interested in, and where did you go on from there? Like, I know you did a degree on what was that subject, TJ?
Yeah, so when I went to uni, I studied a Bachelor of Arts, in education and Pacific Studies.
Wow,
So Pacific Studies was a new subject that came in 1999, and so I was part of the first off cohort that came through and took Pacific Studies and education, and then also did some Samoan papers as well. So obviously,
wow.
there's that sort of cultural identity part of you as well. That's I think I caught one of your first episodes of you guys doing your pepeha, and also sort of just look really trying to kind of recapture our language and some of those cultural things from that our parents brought us up in. And so I think it's an interesting thing. As we get older, we become a lot more interested in those things. So those were the subjects that I took as in my undergraduate.
Gee, I know. I know you sort of you took that part, but you also had that talent of music as well. We heard you. I remember you singing a lot and listening to your music. I always liked your voice, bro. I always remembered one time when we come home, you dropped me off when you were playing for, I think you were playing for seniors for Norths, and I think I got knocked out that game, and I think you brought me home because I can't remember how I got home, but I know you were singing and you were trying to play some tapes or something. That was way back in the day. Was that true? You dropped me off home, mate. I got knocked out from some game or something.
I hope it wasn't me that knocked you out.
I think I was in the senior, but I was in a lower grade anyway. But,
yeah, no, I remember that time. I was playing you some of my music that I was working on.
At the time, yeah. So TJ, going on to that music, bro, who influenced you, bro? I mean, how did you get that taste of music? Like, from when did it start? Like, when did it start?
Yeah, I think for me, music started at college, at Onslow College, sort of starting up little hip hop bands. I was kind of right into hip hop, listening to Cypress Hill and Bone Thugs and Harmony, and so we were trying to be thugs, at a bilingual school, But started off there and kind of entered a few rock quests, and then I think part of my journey going to university, I was also fortunate enough through another legend in Porirua, Ian Mareko.
Ian Mareko.
There was some auditions going on for a international cover band, and they were heading over to China in around that sort of early 2000s. And so he asked me to come and audition, and made the band. I got into the band, and that pretty much started my journey into the covers sort of scene. So we prepped for China for about 2 years, and then I'm not sure if you remember, in 2002 there was that SARS disease that sort of came up in China.
The bird flu.
The bird flu.
Yeah.
And then they were stopping all the bands going overseas. So that was we were a little bit disappointed that we'd been rehearsing for so long to go over. But the positive that I probably didn't see at the time is that after 24 months of rehearsing together, like, you've got hundreds of songs that you've learned, over that time. And so I was just reflecting, just the other day that I'm still doing covers now, and so 25 plus years later, this kind of this opportunity or this talent or this gift has been able to put bread and butter on the table for for the family and create opportunities, travel the world. So sometimes I think maybe the rugby door didn't open for me, but I can say that the music has been able to be a blessing, not only to support my own family, but the extended family as well. So, just give God all the glory for the gift of music. And obviously just growing up in a Pentecostal church as well, you're constantly playing every Sunday and every prayer meeting and rally and, and then rinse and repeat. So you do that for a number of years, you slowly sort of, refine your craft. And so, we're growing up in Ascot Park and in Porirua. You get to sort of see a lot of these legends like the Moa Four brothers, the Marekos. These are the guys that you kind of look up to and you try and sort of follow them around and try and listen to how they play and what they do. And so, I'm really sort of blessed to kind of know that there were guys for us growing up that, that showed us, what the ceiling was, in terms of music.
Yeah. Do you remember the first song you ever wrote? You're a songwriter. Do you remember that first song you ever wrote, bro? If you could remember, do you remember when you wrote your first song?
Yeah, I think I mean, there was a few songs over the years. Like a lot of them are probably half finished, but there was a song I did write at college called "My Love." Which, it was a lot of people sort of vibe to it particularly at school. So that was probably one of my first songs that I wrote. If Only You Knew was another one that was on my Inside Out album, which I dedicated to my brother Vinny. It's a tough space, man, like the songwriting piece, because you kind of need to be in that sort of creative space all the time, and so when you're kind of trying to kind of like hold down a job and your health journey and family and so forth, it's just trying to get
bro, also so obviously being a muso as yourself, how many instruments do you actually play?
Man, to be honest, I mean, if you include vocal as the instrument, that's really
that's your top one. Yeah,
that's the main instrument, really. I mean, and then I play guitar.
Yes.
But if you had a band that kind of like the bass player didn't turn up for whatever reason, I could probably fill it, and then and maybe a little bit of keys, but not just if the band didn't have a drummer, you wouldn't want to.
I've seen you play the keys.
But you good drummer, man.
Yeah.
Just the basics. Just the basics.
What was your first ever show you performed in? In New Zealand. What was your first ever one? How did you feel anyway, bro? Was it like the football field when you go on, you get the sweaty palms and you're like ready to go? What was that like for you? Your first ever performance when you went out on stage, because you performed at many events? Do you remember how you felt?
Yeah, I mean, even to this day, like, still get nervous. It's like rugby. Once you get that first contact, then you're in. So for me, once you get that first song out, then you kind of feel a bit comfortable that you're. But it's never. It's you always get those nerves, and I feel like so long as you've got those, then you still got the passion for it. I can't remember what the first. That was so many years ago. Probably would have been a wedding or something. Like a performing for a wedding or something.
Sure. Do you have the most memorable performance of any of your events?
Man, shucks. Probably. I had the privilege of not sure if you follow the sumo wrestling. There's a guy named the dump truck. They call him the dump truck. I don't know if you know Sale Atisa Noi. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's the most popular sumo wrestler, probably in the last maybe 20, 30 years. He's Samoan from Hawaii. But went over to Japan at a very young age. Anyway,
Well,
he reached out to see whether I would be interested in coming over to
Wow.
to sing at his 50th. It was about maybe
oh,
about 2016, 2015. And that was a blessing in itself. And then he also had his nephews and a few other people that in Hawaii that were really well known. And so through that connection, I was able to connect with Fiji.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, Fiji Koso. And so that opportunity to go into studio in Hawaii, we then recorded the Garden song. I'm not sure if you've heard a track called The Garden, which features Fiji and Kivini Vaitai. So I think for me, that was a memorable sort of, not so much a performance, but, I kind of remember a scripture that, I remember a pastor talking about that your gift will make room for you. It'll bring you before, kings and queens. And so I felt like that was that scripture in practice, through the music, I was able to go and play at this 50th, which I was blessed to do that, and then also meet the king himself, the king of reggae, Fiji, and
Wow.
was able to.
That would have been an awesome feeling, all right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, bro. Bro, is there any new music coming out? Or is there a new, that's that soon to come, or you're working on it? I'm sure you're always working on music.
Yeah. Like I said before, man, your time is your most important resource, and I think as you get older, it's just the competing priorities of, you can do 100 different things, but you kind of have to prioritize which one comes first. And so although music is a passion, it's not always like the top three. So you always have to make sure that the water and the power's back paid, and and the kids are sorted, and then hopefully if you've got a little bit left from the from the funds, you might be able to put it towards some recording. But I've definitely got some passion to record some more music this year. So hopefully if those opportunities present itself, then be able to kind of get some more music out very soon.
So what actually makes a good song, bro? I wouldn't have a clue.
If I knew too, I would be a millionaire too. But I think like for me, I mean, a good song is really kind of in a, I mean, there's a lot of components to a good song, but I think the melody is probably the probably the key thing. And you drive along in your car along your way to work, and listen to a radio station and a song comes on that you like, you sing along to it because it's got a catchy tune to it, so I think the trick is if you can write a song that's got a catchy tune, you're halfway there.
So you'll be following up, like, for example, process with writing lyrics. You'll try and remember what you were maybe thinking or singing to yourself at the time. How would you try and keep track of that? I'll be like, I forgot what I said.
Yeah, I mean, I usually just use the audio, app on the phone. So if you ever get an idea, just sort of sing it into the audio.
Something simple like that, eh?
Or just video record yourself just singing the idea, and then you can kind of loop back to it. There's always, your phone is your best friend in terms of sort of capturing those things.
True.
As those ideas come through.
It's mainly, my phone's mainly just used for selfies, so it's different to what you'll use it for.
Oh, you still got the Nokia one there, brother.
Right.
What are tell this fella to take a selfie now?
I was trying to get away from that.
You got to upgrade, brother. I think that's the one that you had from Kmart days, brother.
Oh, gee, I wasn't going to bring up Kmart. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers, we worked together back in the day. Back in the days. I was going to say,
you remember, TJ?
That's right, Kmart. There was good days.
Hey, TJ, bro, you're left-handed, bro. Were you self-taught, bro? You teach yourself how to play.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, self-taught, man.
Sure.
That's why don't ask me what the chords are. I'll just be.
Oh, so you read music?
fudging my way. Nah, don't read music.
Oh, so it's all
Just
by
music
ear,
and
eh?
content, just by ear. And,
Yeah. That's the one, man.
man, you're so close, bro. Would
So
you get
you mentioned you had the opportunity to work alongside with Fiji. So with that collaboration, how is it? You know, like now you both have connected. Do you obviously you must say, "Hola, hey, oh, what are we up to?" Like for maybe a next gig or so, and that you guys will work on.
Man, this guy is. I mean, that was my time to kind of connect with him. He's since probably connected with hundreds of other artists, and I think that's the cool thing about him is that he's been there, done that, and spending a lot of his time now just really giving back to the next generation, and so I truly cherish that time learning and seeing how he operates in the studio. But no, don't sort of catch up on a regular basis, in that regard. He's just too in demand.
Yeah, you have to book in advance.
What was anyway, TJ? What was this guy doing in Kmart back in like?
It's not about me.
This guy was the boss man. He was
the boss man. Eh?
He was the GM, mate.
Was a GM
making sure everyone was stocking up all the shelves and everyone wasn't taking 2-hour lunch breaks.
Were you there when? No, when I say no, yeah, no. I know nothing.
No, bro. I did notice on some of the clips, the videos, and songs that you've brought out, bro. It's mean, bro. I was just grateful for you, bro. You always I seen some streets like I think I saw Warspite. I think it's Wahimo Street on some of the vids that you put up. Man, I was just like I know it's been out for a long time, but I hadn't really seen them until I just what this is back home. The streets that you put in your videos. What was that? Do you just wanted to give back to Porirua and just show some of our home? Because that's where we grew up. So it's seeing that in Oz. That's how I felt.
You probably didn't see it because you didn't accept my Facebook request.
Might have been an imposter though. It's hard nowadays, eh?
I think for a lot of us artists that that come from an area, we always want to rip our area. Eh? We always want to rip the streets and the the chicken shacks and the legendary places that make Porirua what it is. And so just had an opportunity to come back to Porirua and shoot a video and for one of our songs. And and just showcase some of our our spaces in Porirua, but it's just sometimes when you've been away from Porirua for so long, you miss just those things about it. So I don't often sort of been in Auckland a little while now, but always rep Porirua and always let people know that that's home for me.
It's home, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I have a question. I'm just like, how do you bring a song together? Like, how do you bring an album together? Working on the ideas, even like individual songs, because there may be people out there watching going, "Oh, well, how do you start?" Could hear it from you.
Yeah, I think there's no one size fits all, but I think you've obviously I mentioned the melody of a song, which I feel is is critical to that songwriting process. There's the chords that go with the song. Is it going to be a fast song? Is it a slow song? Is it opera song? Is it an opera genre? Is it an R&B? Is it reggae? What is the theme? What is the theme? So I think when you've kind of got a lot of those components, that you have in place, then it's kind of like a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle where you just sort of try and find the right chords, find the right melody. And you might not even be the best person to sing it. It might be a collab with someone else, so it's just trying to kind of like be as creative as possible. And I mean, it's a bit of it's a process. You get enough of those songs and those ideas together, then you can kind of like start to kind of bring those songs down to, maybe 6 songs for an EP, or 10 songs for an album. So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, but a lot of it needs to be, if you're not doing it yourself, you got to fund a recording studio to go into. You've got to pay for an engineer.
Wow.
Wow, man. I was also gonna ask you that thing about, with your family. I know you probably you answered that, I think. With your time, in job, working 9 to 5 or whatever hours that you do every day. So it's such a hard task anyway with your music, fitting in between your jobs and then your family, and your kids are all growing up now, eh? They're still growing. Gee. And how would you put that in as well? You just have to find time, mate, TJ, to do your music and that.
Yeah.
Having a young family grow up. And like I said, bro, earlier on, you still have to cook as well, eh? You have to cook for your children, and they're always asking questions as well. So that would have been so hard. This journey, it's not an easy journey for you. So now my hat comes off to you, bro. You're still holding it down. But yeah, I just thought you already answered it.
So with regards to cooking and so tell us a bit about after sports. Obviously, you got into your music scene. About your own health journey. Like, are you keeping up with some sort of a training regime, or just keeping your mind and body at a level where, hey mate, I'm doing enough to keep me where I should be? Yeah.
No, good question, brother. So we live in Porirua, here in Auckland, south of Auckland, and we have just a local gym, Fitness Plus, that we go to regularly as part of a T4U community program. So it's run by an amazing trainer. He's a international bodybuilding champ, Mateo Vaihu. And he's been running these kind of community boot camps. They're kind of 10, 12 weeks at a time. You come into this program, and a lot of it is sort of functional weight, body, weight training and body weight training as well. So go there with my wife, and it's it's awesome to kind of to kind of just chip away at your health in that regard, and just be on a journey with other people with, that are like-minded and on the same journey as well.
Right, yeah.
So I think one of the key things for us is actually finding your village, or finding your people that you feel comfortable with, to actually train with together. So so we do 10-week programs, and then we'll have a couple of weeks off, and then we'll roll those again, and it's just a way of kind of just plugging into a consistent sort of training program throughout the week.
So the training program with this ex-bodybuilder, hey, was it bodybuilder? Yeah.
Yes.
He would have given you guys some sort of food programs as well, what to eat and all that jazz, or just to keep you guys, I guess, motivated with the training as well, because it's not only training, it's the food intake too, eh?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So he definitely provides all of that, whether we stick to it or not. There's another.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You might do one day, and then next day. Hey, it's awesome. Hey, just recently we had an older gentleman that came on our podcast, who's into high rocks. Have you heard of that one up there, High Rocks?
I've seen some stuff on socials.
Yeah, bro. Far out, man. He's amazing. Yeah. I was just going to say too, muscle memories from your footy days. Anything?
TJ, what position did you play anyway when you played rugby? Centre or What position did you play?
I was a specialist off the bench.
Oh yeah.
Oh, impact. There you are. Impact.
Impact.
Super
Water
impact.
boy.
Base.
No, played in the midfield. Played in the
Yeah,
midfield.
midfield. Yeah, I can recall playing for North's Rugby in midfield.
One of the North.
I didn't play that. I didn't play that sport after I left school, so it's all good. I came watch you fellas.
You know, I think, brothers. One of the things I was thinking about with the health journey, and when I talk about the importance of time and prioritizing, is that like even in the music space, is that if you're unhealthy, you can't actually do your music. You can't actually sing. You can't actually sing as well as you would like to. So I think as we get older, you start to sort of realize your mortality. That you can't sort of you can't do what you used to do back in your 20s. And so it's just so important to kind of get that balance. And so I think for me and my wife, and it's just
And
trying
adjust,
just trying to get the health side of it. I wouldn't say sorted, but just some sort of routine where you're just chipping away at it, every week,
Right.
every day.
That's good stuff. Yeah, joining the group T4, T4A.
T4U.
Yeah, T4U.
Transformation for
Yeah,
you.
me. Yeah. And mentally as well. So you guys, obviously, with doing the training, it's going to help de-stress, I guess, too, as well, and help the relationship, between you and your wife too, to go into that space and you can train and then give each other a hard time.
Yeah, I think physical fitness just helps with all relationships, whether it be at work or your kids, wife. It's just it's a good way to kind of just keep up with your physical, which sort of affects your mental and spiritual. So it's definitely a big thing here in Auckland. Like a lot of people find their different villages, whether it's BFT or
Yes.
or CrossFit or
Yeah.
zoo or whatever sort of works for you. Then I think just do that.
Correct. Yeah. I'm just doing the bare minimum at the moment.
100 press ups a night.
That's the easiest way, bro. 100 press ups a day,
Do it easy.
100 sit ups a day. What else was there?
The sit-ups.
Not a day, maybe one day a week.
Why not? No.
Not like our producer who's in the background there, Shane Lulu, goes riding every day. 100 kilometers a day. Sure.
He's the strategy man.
Yeah.
Well, bro, like any advice you could probably, before we leave, or anything that you could give to a musical person that's listening out there, and because there's a lot of kids, talented kids out there, whether it's here or overseas in Australia. But is there any advice you could probably give them that that you used yourself to encourage them and to fight the good fight of the musos? Yeah. Just probably.
Man, just whatever their heart sort of desires in terms of their music passion, just pursue it, go hard. Don't let anyone sort of discourage you from pursuing your dream as an artist, as a musician. But build a team. Just reach out to family members or those that have different skills and different skills that can help support your journey. There could be someone that does photography or videography, or someone that's a good writer that can write your bio for you, or someone that can manage your calendar. There's the music side of it is one side of it, but you need all of those other skills to kind of push the journey forward. So just surround yourself with some key people that can help, that believe in your journey as well. Just go hard. Don't live with any regrets.
Yeah, they're all back. Well, so I don't know. If you wanted to, we'll close off like would you like to say any shout outs to anyone in particular, your family or your friends or anyone out there that's listening? Any shout outs? Any final words you want to say, TJ or Tiare? You got any other questions for the bro? Just on top of your head.
Huh? Yeah, no, mate. But yeah.
Oh well. So,
any final words there also?
No, just a big shout out, Tiare, Teho, and Shane. Thank you for creating this platform. For us, where we can come and talanoa about these really important topics. And particularly seeing some of our Porirua leaders and legends that have also had this opportunity. So thank you for your vision for Blood, Sweat and Talanoa podcast, and wish you guys all the best as you guys move forward in your journey with this Talanoa and this platform. And I know that it's only going to get bigger, and and the reach is going to get wider as well. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and look forward to catching up for some pork buns down at the markets sometime.
Hey, that's awesome. Also, yeah, no, I appreciate you for coming on tonight and sharing your journey. Definitely, we'll catch up sooner or later, and I appreciate your time and also time away from your family at this stage. It's probably dinner time or after dinner or dessert time.
yeah.
So I really appreciate it. I love your background there too. Also, put the real background on, and I guess from Shane, who's in the background there, he's also like I would like to send on his regards as well, bro. No doubt we'll catch up, and I'll leave Taho with the final words to see us out. Thank you, Taho.
Yeah, just bro, it's been an honor and a blessing, bro. You've did so much for Porirua when you were here, and then you went to Auckland and you did your thing, and just I really believe that you're well known name all over this world, bro. And I just wish you all the best, bro. You and Linda and your wife Linda and the family, and thank you. Yeah, thanks again, bro, for coming on BST, and to you viewers out there listening, from the brother here, TJ. Shit. We love you, bro, and we'll see you Saturday, bro. Ka kite, bro.
Thank
Thank you, bro.
Ka kite.
Ka kite.